All right, let's rock and roll. Good morning, because the sound good? Everyone hear me? Excellent. I tend to be loud. I generally am not mic'd up because I am loud. But with that said, we're running a few seconds behind, so I'll catch us up here. There's actually really going to be two seminars you're going to find out. We're doing one on Laser Tag 201, and then we're going to do another one on lane conversion. That's only about a 15-minute one. So with that said, everything will make sense once I get the show started. So let's start.
Goodness, I just got the best teammate ever because Erica wants to kill Ashley. There's no possible way I will lose. We're going to be the better team, guaranteed. Laser tag is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Believe it or not, it is effing awesome. It's amazing. Laser tag started out as a fad 30 years ago. Even the man who invented laser tags, a dear friend of mine, said, Eric, I sold out 3 years later thinking it was going to collapse and not go anywhere. And today, laser tag is a worldwide event. I'd like to welcome you to Laser Tag 201. My name is Eric Guthrie. I am Vice President, co-owner of Zone Laser Tag. Zone Laser Tag is part of the Zone Laser Tag group of companies. We have offices throughout the world, 13 different regional offices. We own and operate our own corporate stores. I personally have 20 years in the industry, a lot of it tied into bowling. I'm also the past executive director of the International Laser Tag Association, and I've visited over 1,400 laser tag locations. I average now about 100 locations a year, all over the world. So what you're going to see is a presentation full of pictures and video. I'm a very big fan of pictures and video because I think you go out, you see what operators are doing, and you should try to promote their successes. So, where did it all begin? It began here in 1994. I was hired by the late Don Mitchell, bowling legend, many of you guys know, hired me to run a laser tag facility in Indianapolis called Laser Storm. And it's got this really cool facade out front, and you'll see that dome on top. I'd like to quickly tell you that dome was an error. It was clear, and we used to have a 750 megawatt strobe that would go off. And shortly, about 2 weeks after we were operating, the FAA showed up and said, you need to do something about that. So we turned it into a giant planet, and it worked out really well. I'd like to tell you Laser Storm, while the facade is no longer up there, Laser Storm is still operating 20 years later. So I'm always happy about that. Tag has grown amazingly from just a few laser tag locations, both standalone and bowling. Today, where bowling has just really embraced laser tag as a revenue generator. And I'm going to cover parts of those reasons why. But this just kind of gives you an idea of where laser tag's at and what all it's doing. Real quick survey. I like to do this every time that I speak at a seminar. I'd like to ask right now, how many of you currently have laser tag? How many of you currently have? Okay, about half the room has laser tag. And then with that said, how many are considering adding laser tag? Okay, that's brilliant. So this is exactly what happened last year. I was asked to speak at Bowl Expo. I was asked to put together, is that Bart? Yeah, let's see if we can kind of get Bart turned down a little bit. So anyway, so when I did my presentation last year, I was surprised that half the room was existing and half was looking to add on. So for those of you who are interested in adding laser tag, we're going to be doing a little bonus seminar. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So during the presentation, I'm going to use a lot of images, and some of these images are going to come from ARC Arenas, Creative Works, Studio 41B, and Zone Corporate. All the images are copyright to their owners. We're just using them for educational purposes in case any of you are lawyers sitting in the room trying to bust me on a trademark. But we do need to make a special thank you to 3 providers here at Expo. One is Haze Fog, and the last is ARC Laser Tag Arena. When you go to the trade show floor tomorrow, you will find that there is a 1,500 square foot laser tag arena that has been built, fully functioning, 10 laser tag packs. Our beautiful laser tag models will be there, and the carpet was provided by Flagship. The fogs used provided by Froggies, and ARC Laser Tag Arena built the arenas. This is a picture of a laser tag arena to give you any idea where laser tag is today. It's vital, it's glowing, it's dynamic, it's just captivating. This is something that a young kid wants to play in. This is something a corporate function can be in. This just gives you an idea what laser tag can look like today. Gone are the plastic barrels, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So laser tag today is making incredible money, and I'm always shocked as I travel around. When I talk to people, when I talk to the bowling operators, I'm like, well, how'd you do? How much money are you making? What's your gross? No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So what's your gross on this? And we hear everything from $50,000 to $500,000. About 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to attend an FEC 20 group, and I was sitting there listening to the operators share numbers back and forth. And I attended a MUBIG meeting a couple years ago, and I listened to operators share numbers back and forth. And there are variables, but there's some relevance on how laser tag, some are only doing 50K and some are doing 500,000. There are some factors involved. But I did notice after analyzing this, and I drilled down, they all shared one thing in common, all of them. In the higher grossing facilities, laser tag is prominent. The guys that were doing 50,000 and 100,000 put laser tag in the corner, put up a little sign, and oh yeah, by the way, we have laser tag. The guys that were doing 500,000 were like, yeah, we have laser tag. It's fantastic. Let's play. Seriously, there's a big difference there. So because I have been the executive director of the trade association, I am all about the industry stats. I want to see how the industry is growing. And this is something that's really telling for the bowling entertainment center market. In 2009, there were approximately 75 bowling entertainment centers throughout the United States that had some laser tag attraction. Today, 5 years later, there's 119. I mean, that's remarkable, and that is factoring out the ones that do shut down. And I will say there's a margin of error, probably about plus or minus 3 to 5. One of the really cool things that you're going to see is over the years, laser tag has consistently done about 10 to 11 locations a year. But in 2013, there were 23 bowling facilities that opened in North America with laser tag or added laser tag to an existing bowling entertainment center through renovation. So this is phenomenal. We cannot believe that number for 2013. It's just been incredible. Here's a number that'll really shock you. 14 have opened so far this year. At this rate, we expect to see 30 or so open by the end of the year, from 23 to 30. I think the bowling market is going to continue to add laser games, and they're going to continue to grow and be successful. So why are they continuing to grow? Why has bowling embraced laser tag? One, it's a nominal investment. It's substantial in the fact that we're $120, $150, $200,000. We accept that. But in the bowling industry, that number doesn't scare as many people as it does in some of the other family entertainment industries like skating or trampoline parks. Laser tag has low labor. On the slow days, you can run it with one person. On the busy days, you may need 2 or 3. I'll tell you, at a facility that I was involved with in Indianapolis years ago, X-Site, we would run with 7, 8 on a Saturday just because it was that busy. One of the elements I was talking to the FEC 20 group about was what we call revenue per square foot. It's a really good metric to compare numbers, is look at revenue per square foot. A friend of mine in Michigan had a laser tag system, and when he sat down, he says, Eric, I'm doing about $90 a square foot in revenue. So a year later, he switched it out to a different laser tag equipment. He's reinvented his arena. He's done some new lights and sound. He put some investment in. He immediately went up to $150 a square foot in revenue. And he's happy. The laser tag has a long lifespan. Unlike other attractions, you can put in laser tag, and other than minor maintenance, that laser tag will last 7, 10, 12 years. A friend of mine in the back of the room builds laser tag arenas, and he just switched out a laser tag facility that had operated for 20 years before they switched equipment. Probably should have changed out sooner, but the other elements, the ancillary sales go up. Your food sales will go up. No questions about it. Laser tag players are hungry. They drink both soda and alcohol. So food sales go up. Group bookings will definitely go up. If you're offering just bowling and you say, yeah, I've got bowling, and they can come to your facility and do bowling, laser tag, and some other attractions, bookings go up. Birthday parties will definitely grow. The laser tag player on average for our industry, 50% of your business is birthday parties. If you sit through my second class, we're actually going to go over demographics and how they're broken out. The other element is revenue for other attractions increases. While they're there playing laser tag, they're going to put money in the arcade, they're going to put money into other attractions that you're going to have. A time freak, for example, they'll want to put money into that. So those are the really cool things that adds to the ancillary revenue that go to the bottom line. So why the increase? Laser tag today, gone. The plastic arenas. In the 2000s, we would have a lot of plastic barrels and plastic arenas. Now they're all really multi-level, very cool attractions. The operators today, they understand it's a profit center. When they put this kind of money into laser tag, they recognize that this can generate substantial revenues. Better in-house and out-of-house marketing. This is the area that I really like to focus in. I'm guaranteed before you guys leave here, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 cool marketing ideas that operators are doing around the world. And customers now want laser tag in packages. They just simply want it as part of a bowling laser tag combo package. The economy has created value buyers. When the economy collapsed in 2008, we became more value oriented. We wanted more value buyers. This is a picture of a laser tag arena for Brunswick Zone in Lone Tree, Colorado. Just gives you an idea that when a kid goes in and sees something like that, it's not your typical plastic barrel arena. So what were the changes in the laser tag industry that affected the Bowling Entertainment Center? I was invited to speak at Bowling Entertainment Management School on a 3-hour presentation. Yeah, I know, 3 hours of laser tag. Even I got a little lost sometimes. And I was like, all right. So I try to condense this down here that makes sense for you guys. Changes in operations. 1, today's operator understands the profit potential. People used to come into this saying it was a fad. I'm going to put it in, sit in the corner. I'm going to spend $150,000. If I make $450,000 over 3 years, I'm okay with that. I don't care. Now for that same $150,000, they're doing $450,000 annually. So today's operator understands the money is much stronger today than it had been. Better preventive maintenance. The product has gotten better. If you've had laser tag equipment for more than 7 years, the product has gotten better. Everybody's laser tag product is a better product. There's more stock of spare parts. So let me tell you a quick story. When I ran Expo Bowl's laser tag called Laser Storm, we carried spare parts. And we were never out of anything because of that. Even though it was a brand new system, under warranty, we still spent another $1,000, $1,500, and we ordered spare parts and we kept it in stock because we didn't care what the salesman told us. And we'd rather have the spare parts. Greater use of checklists. Today we've gone from the art of management to the science of management. We know how to run laser tag on a checklist. Everything's automated. Again, I don't have it here, but a friend of mine in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, has a Excel spreadsheet that's his closing checklist. But the Excel spreadsheet, for the new hires, if they don't know how to mop the floor, you click on the link on the Excel spreadsheet, and he's created little videos on how to mop the floor, how to clean the bathroom, how to empty the trash. So just total automation, and it doesn't allow the staff member to go, I didn't know how to do it. Greater system for automation. Today's laser tag systems, a lot of them are DMX enabled, DMX controlled. You push one button, starts everything. Earlier the packs were going off. We've got a handheld remote that just starts everything. I just came back from England. I did a 2-week trip in England. I spoke to a group of operators in England, but I went and visited a bunch of sites, and I saw something I'd never seen. 1,400 locations, 20 years, all over the world. I've seen it all. Till this. And they actually had the party host bring out the cake to the table, and they would set the cake down, and they had a remote in their hand, and they pushed a button, and the PA system around the table sang happy birthday to the birthday kid. And I was like, why? And they said, because we can hire staff who can't sing. I was like, okay, that's brilliant. It's really simple, just greater automation. Changes in marketing, display monitors. You're going to see a series of monitors. I'm going to hit you really quickly with a lot of stuff that's cool. In-arena cameras, love in-arena cameras. We've had them for years. Better marketing pieces. The marketing in the old days was just a piece of colored paper and a lot of text. Today it's all video. Use of social media. I do not say to anybody I am a social media expert. However, I will tell you what is working for laser tag on social media. And all of this ultimately ends up into a better guest experience for the guests, and then they're going to increase the word of mouth. Always ask the operators, how do you want to market your facility? They always say word of mouth, and then the experience isn't that great. How many of you can give me a quick word of mouth recommendation for your airline? Yeah, exactly. So we had miserable flights coming down ourselves. No one does good word of mouth for airlines, so let's do good word of mouth for laser tag. So let me start into this in my real world example. So this is Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now I've had a long relationship with Royal Pin for many, many years. I like everybody at Royal Pin except for a guy named Ken Howard. He's in the room. And no, I've had a great relationship with these guys for years and years and years and years. So this is outside of the laser tag attraction. Hey, I got a little pointer here. So they got a big camera that's inside the arena so mom can stand outside and look at the event, and then the scoreboard over here. And this is cool, and I like this a lot. And what's really neat is that this brings the package together, but it can be improved. So I went and visited Main Event in San Antonio. Now this is a 20-second video. There is no audio to this, but this is, they took a big 52-inch scoreboard and they brought it out in the lobby, and the guests can stand around and they watch the game and they can see the players, and forgive the fuzziness, it was recorded on my cell phone. I wasn't using high-def cameras. But it shows you the game time and who's winning and all that. So this is really, really cool. Again, we're bringing the game to the people. We're bringing the scoreboard out. And this is a great idea. Main Event, when we saw it, was like, okay, this is really neat. But then it got better. And then I was in Sydney, Australia, and a guy decided to take everything that I had to say and combine them together. And so now this will be a little jerky again. There is no sound to this, but basically the scores, marketing, 2 cameras in the arena. You'll actually see people going by, changing over, teams, play-by-play. And so this is really cool because this is now projected onto a wall. This is about 15 feet tall. So I think that's really, really cool, neat. I liked it a lot. I just thought it was really cool. So we're getting bigger and bolder with our marketing. So laser tag needs to be a fresh and fun experience. That's a conceptual drawing, by the way. And to be honest, I don't even know where I got it. Because I normally try to give credit. You'll notice, by the way, on my presentations, I'll give credit in the bottom here. So fresh and fun. How do we keep laser tag fun? Game format nights. Make the birthday kid feel special. Facebook is dead. You're going to hear me talk about that. Have guests tweet or Instagram. Facebook update while they're in the equipment. I'm going to show you a picture. And fog utilization. We try to do fog utilization here, but hotel wouldn't let us get away with it. Large score monitors. So let me hit you with examples of these. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, then show you how to do it. High monthly score. Track the highest score. Just track the highest score of the player. Get a digital photo. Today's kids today, how many of you guys know what a selfie is? Right? We all know what so. If you don't know what a selfie is, that tells me a lot about you, to be honest. But yeah, selfie is basically where young people today are taking photos of themselves and posting it to their Facebook or their Instagram, their Twitter. So have the player take a selfie with their scorecards and have them share it on Facebook. We're trying to get Facebook marketing. Facebook, of course, wants you, the operator, to pay for the marketing. But if the player takes the picture and posts it to their Facebook and shares it, then that gets out to all their friends. You have them share it to your Facebook, and now you can record who's got the highest score. Oops, sorry about that. So you create a wall of fame and then place the monthly high score on your website. Here's what, again, I'm not a Facebook marketing expert, but here's what I know Facebook doesn't want you to do. Come in Tuesday for our all-you-can-play, and come in Thursday for our 99-cent bowling. They want it to be personal. They want it to connect. They want it to be people and places. So put it on your own website of who got the high score for the month. Boils back to that old customer phrase, nobody cares what you know till they know that you care. Show them that you care. Put the high score of laser tag on your website. High score of the last, okay, King of the Hills. So King of the Hills is a really cool concept that you turn around, you have a group of kids come in, someone invariably is going to be the winner. So the high score of the last game gets to play the next game for free. This creates excitement and draw for repeat play because, of course, they got a free game of laser tag that they got to play immediately. The friends of the king want to play, so they'll often pay to be in the King of the Hill game. After 2 or 3 wins, though, I'm going to pick on Brody here. Brody over here, he's been the King of the Hill 3 or 4 times now. Now, everybody, before we go into this game, I just want to make sure you guys all know he's been king 3, 4 times now. Let's make sure he's not king this time. So the king gets knocked off his throne. There's a new king. But the kings come back every few weeks with their friends. It's just a really easy, no-cost way. Giving away a free game of laser tag is like giving away a game of bowling. Doesn't cost us a lot. We should do it. Game formats on slow nights. This I'm really big on. So we all have slow nights in the laser tag industry. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night can be pretty slow. But every one of your laser tag systems out there, all of them have special game formats. And you don't play them on Friday and Saturday because you're too darn busy running your solo game and your team game. So what you do is you run your special game formats on the slow nights. So solo elimination, vampires, zombies, color rank solo, turtles. Turtles is this really cool game where the packs have accelerometers in them, and if you move, you got to move really slowly to tag people, because if you move too fast, the pack will shut down. So it makes for a very amusing game that can be done. And we're not the only ones. A lot of companies have accelerometers. You guys can play turtles. Excuse me. Hype the game nights to your guests on Friday. So it's Friday night. Your place is busy, but you turn around. I'm probably standing in your way. I apologize. But so on Friday night, you're busy, but you still say, all right, guys and gals, before we get ready to go into this game, just want to let you know that we do on Tuesdays run our special game formats. Come on out. Play Rainbow Warrior. Play King of the Hill. Play the color ranked solo. And get them to come back in on a slow night. Post it to your Facebook. Hey, Facebook, Tuesday night is going to be a Turtles night or a color rank solo. And the beautiful thing, no membership system is required for this. It's just all about getting more people to come back in on slower nights. So I'm a big fan of this, birthday kid. You make the birthday kid vital. In our industry, roughly 50% of the business is birthday parties. And yet I often ask people, what do you do to make the birthday kid feel special? And they're like, well, we try not to misspell his name on the cake. I'm like, okay, that's probably a good level right there. So use the birthday guests, for the pack demo. So it's a birthday time, and Ken Melton, where'd you go, Ken? I knew you slipped away. Ken, it's Ken's birthday, so I'm going to bring Ken down, and we're going to put Ken in the birthday pack, and we're going to make Ken feel special. Ken's going to get it on a team. We're going to let Ken's team go into the arena first. Cost you nothing, but Ken feels great. It's his birthday. Ensure the birthday guests get the base, right? Every system has a base of some sort, Sentry Pods, whatever you want to call them. But make sure, have your staff member, your birthday coaches go, come on, Ken, did you get the base yet? And Ken's like, no, it's my first time here. Excellent, let's go to the bases and make sure you tag the bases. Doesn't cost you much, but you make Ken feel incredibly special. Use a sticker to single out the birthday guest. This one I love. I do this in several stores that I'm involved with. I love it. Today is blank special day. You slap it on the kid, and the staff has to say happy birthday to him. And I want to tell you, I stole this idea from Frank Price, A Birthday You. If you've never been to a birthday university, you should go. But I want to tell you, I stole that from Frank Price. So, Facebook is dead. I said that earlier today, so I'm going to kind of go through that real fast. So Facebook is still the #1 social media site out there. It is dying, though. Teens are not embracing Facebook. They're just not taking into Facebook. Anybody under 20, 21 is just not. Just out of curiosity, because I'm very statistically oriented, show of hands, how many of you have a Facebook page, a personal Facebook page? Thank you very much. You killed Facebook. It wasn't cool once you joined. Once your kids knew you were kind of stalking them, they moved over to Twitter and Instagram. Now, I know this sounds kind of controversial, a little outrageous, so let's do this. When you go back to your facility this weekend, talk to your 18, 19-year-olds and ask them, how are you using Twitter, using Instagram, are you using Facebook? And see what they tell you. I was in Coconut Creek, Florida, and I visited a center, and no staff member under 22 was using Facebook any longer. And this was in March that I visited Coconut Creek. Instagram, I love this photo. Here's a couple, good-looking couple out on a date or whatever. They've got the laser tag packs on, and I actually lifted this from Instagram. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they played, but I thought this was a great example. They've got laser tag equipment at Instagram. Pictures. So if you can't tell, I'm very big into pictures. Love pictures a lot, and I'm loving video even more, you're going to see. So have the party coach take the birthday guest photo. There is now something called, and I don't have it here, so this will be, I'm going off record here for this. There's something known as an Android box. It's $99. I just visited a friend of mine in San Marco, California. We got talking about it. So he takes this $99 Android box, puts it onto a monitor in his birthday room. His staff member takes a picture and can beam the photo to the Android box, which then displays the birthday kid right there at the table. Brilliant. Love it. In my next seminar, I'll actually have a how to do it. Offer to email mom the photos. You got the little birthday kids and you want to capture the emails and just simply say, hey mom, can I just email you the photo of the birthday party? Oh, of course. Well, I've got our own, but yeah, you can. Can we place it on our website with permission? If possible, create a focal point for the birthday guest and incorporate the store logo. I had a friend of mine who had a Q-Czar. Unfortunately, he's closed now. He'd been in business about 20 years. But he came to me with his camera, and he's got this big backdrop, and he's got, a Darth Vader, and he's like, oh, I have all my kids' birthday parties right in front of this big Darth Vader. And I said, that's cool, but your logo's missing. So I'm a big fan of logos. Guests and or parties stand in front of the center prop, make it the focal. So again, I tell you all this, so let me show you. So this is advanced laser tag in Olathe, Kansas, and what's really cool is, now this is a staff member, but when I was there, you get the point. The birthday kid gets to bang the gong. How cool is that? You are 8. They're giving you a gong? Absolutely. Is it crazy and chaotic? Yeah, that's exactly what you want when you're 8 years old. Stars and Stripes, Dacula, Georgia. I don't know if you guys are in the room or not, but I love the arch. I love the concept that you can put kids here, take a picture of it, and really brand that. I think that's a really cool idea, and I hope they're doing it. But I was in Laser Zone in Castleford, UK, and this is something I'd never seen. This was just 2 weeks ago, because I'm still fat, you can tell, look at that. So I go in, and they've got a center, a place in the arena, and you go in, and you can actually tag this device, and it takes your photos, sort of like what happens on an amusement ride. And they end up getting dozens and dozens of photos, and when I exit out of the arena, there's all the photos lined up, and so I can just tap on the photo, enter my email address, and it emails me the photo directly. Brilliant, because they have like 14,000 email addresses in their account that they can market to. I love it. So it's something called Zappix that they created, but I thought it was really, really cool. This, by the way, is where things are going to go. I'm going to tell you right now, the ability for the player to create their own photos in the arena is the next step. If you want to know where the technology is going to be in a year, it's going to be the players creating their own technology. Pictures on websites. So this is one of these areas. So here, as many of you in the room I know, many of you are good friends of mine, and many of you are horrible at website marketing. Just, nah. And so we're going to show you a really good example. I have a client who contacted me, and I said, just use photos, lots of photos, and so I want to give you the example. So ensure photos of laser tag are on your website. Make those photos pop off the website. The laser tag is an action-oriented event. Make them pop. Make it exciting. Let me put it to you this way. If you're going to make a note of my seminar, this is the one spot I'm going to really say. If you don't bother to market laser tag, they're not going to bother to buy laser tag. It's that simple. If you're not marketing it, they're not buying it. So many bowling websites don't show laser tag in action, if at all. Yes, we have laser tag. They may have a picture of the arena. For the arena guys in the room, I apologize. They just throw a picture of the arena and go, we've got laser tag, right? That's cool. This is cooler. This is a clubhouse in Statesboro, Georgia. They had some really cool shots made up. And look at this. This is a bass, the electronic bass units up there, a couple of good-looking kids, green lasers flying everywhere, matching my pointer. Again, kids, though he doesn't look that happy. But kids in here. Then I got a phone call from a friend of mine who is involved with Colonial Lanes in New Jersey. And he said, Eric, our website could use some help. What can you do? I said, let me send you some pictures. Let's see what you can do with it. And this is what he created. ColonialBowlingNJ.com. Wayne Tuttle was the general manager I spoke with at that time. I love the banner. Love laser tag. When you go to this, you can immediately tell that they're selling laser tag. No questions about it. You got a guy, a girl, laser tag. They embedded a video of laser tag players. They've got pricing over here. They call it Laser Tag Elite Force. I'm going to go down. Colonial Bowling and Entertainment has the most advanced laser tag entertainment system complex in the area. As you approach the entrance to the Elite Force facility, your heart will begin pumping. You'll soon realize that we take our gaming seriously, and that's not your average laser tag center. Our 3,000 square foot facility immerses you into another dimension. Upon entering, you'll feel like you've been transported to a real life video game. That's exciting. Not laser tag, $5. That's exciting. I don't know who wrote the copy, but it was great. Unlimited laser tag up here, book now, book online, pictures of their arena with the laser tag in it, and then the bottom part of this page, and again, it's coloniallanesnewjersey.com. We can go back to it if you want. But again, they've done a great job. Feel the rush of deactivating opponents before they deactivate you. Each laser tag experience can support up to 24 players in one 10-minute battle. Each player is provided with phaser and computerized vest after being thoroughly instructed on the rules, missions, strategies of the game in the briefing briefing room. At the end of your mission, you'll head back to the armory to store your equipment, analyze your personal mission results. Text is brilliant. The copy is wonderful. It creates excitement for those who read. For those who don't read, and I'm not trying to be funny, for those who don't read, there's pictures. In today's ADD-driven world, I can look at this in less than 3 seconds, know it's laser tag. One, because it said laser tag, that helped me a lot. But this is everything in a page. So I'm going to hold this up at the moment as my shining example with the best page in the bowling industry, and maybe, hopefully, you guys will reach out to me and show me one better for next year's seminar. So I mentioned video on the website. So video is super easy, cheap to do. Today's buyer is very video oriented. It ensures, but when you do it, make sure that the video is on YouTube or Vimeo. If you're not familiar with it, talk to your teenagers, they know. Make sure your logo is on the video. Most new computers come with Windows, Microsoft Movie Maker. So for those of you who say, I don't have the skills, simply go into the start bar, type in Movie Maker, and Windows will actually show you where it's at in their computer, and you can make it. I made several videos over the past 2 days, and I am one of the most propped up people in the industry. I have like 6 assistants in this room right now, and I made movies. But I want to show you a movie that was made, and it's cool. It's 90 seconds, but give it the full 90 seconds. This is all Movie Maker. This was all done by a 34-year-old lady who had never done Movie Maker before. It did take her a few hours, no questions about it, but she shot this. By the way, there are a couple rules that are broken in this video I would not suggest. So for example, a kid lays down on the floor. You'll see it here in a moment. There. They shouldn't lay down on the floor. Bad. But during this video, you'll notice that it's little kids and young teenagers. You're going to draw the audience you market to. If you're big on alcohol only and you want adults only, you'll draw adults only. If you want teens, market to teens, draw teens. You want kids, market to kids, draw kids. Love this right here at the very end. It's a very awkward hug. I don't know who to hug you. Now, here's what's really cool. This was made by a 34-year-old lady in Russia. She has a laser tag facility in Russia, and she could do Movie Maker. I thought it was brilliant. Just absolutely a gorgeous video. So what's new in the laser tag arenas? This is where the arena guys sitting in the room all start to say, what's Eric going to say? So I visited this facility in Hamilton, New Zealand. This is Sky Zone Bowling Facility. This is the entrance to the bowling facility. That is a Punisher logo for those of you who are into comic books. Really cool, sexy way to gather people's attention to go play laser tag. A bit of the arch combined with some Lexan plastics. Very cool. This is probably one of the coolest facilities over in Watford, UK. I was just there 2 weeks ago. I've been there before. I like this use of lights. You're going to see a lot of videos where I'm going to promote the use of LEDs and lighting. I think we've gone a little too far in theming at times, a little overboard in theming. I'm going to try to see what I can do to bring that back a little bit. I think this is a very classic, elegant look and a very good use of lights. But remember, lighting creates excitement. Now, I wish these photos were a little better, but this is the red base area, so they've got the base up with these column lights. Green base is also the same thing. You can kind of see they've got a monitor up there for who's winning the game, lights in there, a little half wall, just to kind of create the ability to tag people back and forth. Laser tag arenas, this was down in Sydney. This is all basically the same briefing or vesting room, but the equipment's hanging, and they've got this on a light beam right behind here. You can see that again. The light pole's right there, and again, the light is right behind. So they're using light to help differentiate the different colors of the team. I think it's fantastic. I'm a big fan huge fan of the LED style arenas, the arenas today. With DMX lighting effects, we can now shimmer arenas for when the red team or the green team takes the lead. We can now change lighting patterns to affect the game format. You know, let's say the blue light is on and points can be worth double if you tag the base. I mean, you can do a lot more corporate interactivity. So I'm really a big fan of LED images and lights. So lights, unfortunately, we don't have fog for this room, but yeah, the lights, you know, will really add substantially to this. Themed arenas have been around forever. My assistant Kyle and I just visited San Antonio, incredible pizza. It had a huge Ocean Quest theme. We're a little like, don't know what San Antonio and the ocean have to do, but it was a really, really neat facility. So this is one of these areas that I'm really, really excited about. The technology's in its infancy. Is it the standard yet? No, no. But what it can do, this might shock you. So the player tags a base and the outside of the arena reacts to it. It's a video projected mapping system. So you destroy the base, trigger an interactive effect. This is a really good view of that. So this isn't your 1990s laser tag. This is using today's technology, using the output of the laser tag equipment, the DMX receptibility, and the video projection capabilities all tied together. And it's not really expensive, and that's what's really cool about this. And I'll move on, but you guys get the gist of this. I think this, yeah. So then simulation is over with in this. So this is just a really cool, really nice effect. One of those other items, Haze Fog. If you are an existing operator, about half of you in the room are, and you're not using a hazer or a fogger, please do. It really adds to the refraction capabilities. You can see red lasers. Red lasers are thinner than green lasers, and if you have haze, the red lasers will stand out. Part of what sells laser tag is that excitement, that energy level of the arena. Oh, sorry, let me... went too far as the way it usually works. And you don't have to spend a fortune, by the way. So a gentleman in Sydney, Australia has this big space in his arena. He's got 24-foot ceilings. So he's got a big space. Instead of painting it, he's just projecting lights and sound onto it. Simple, easy, 20-second video, but you get the gist of it. So let's move into pricing promotions. Now, before I do this, let's see here. So examine your pricing compared to other attractions. Where should laser tag be? I spoke with someone who wanted me to cover pricing. So laser tag pricing's going up. We are now seeing on average $8, $9, $10 for a 10-minute game. So when it range kind of like 65, 75 cents per minute for the price range, it is not uncommon now to see $8 for a 10-minute game of laser tag. It's very, very easy. If you have a two-story laser tag, 5 to 6 for a single level. But $8, $9 for a 10-minute game of tag at a bowling center, not unusual. I see a lot of it. Offer a discount. Most bowling centers, and this is one of those areas that we go in, we buy a laser tag game, and people just turn around and like, okay, we'll sell you a game. Give me an incentive. If one game is $7, make 2 games $12. But don't just make 2 games $12. By God, upsell me. I go in all the time and I buy 1 game, waiting for them to say it. Would you like 2 games? And so we got a 2-game package for $12, so only $5 more. You can play. I'm going to tell you, it's twice as fun. Yeah, why not? I'll do that. Sure. Here's the other element, and let me make this a profound statement. If customers do not want to play 2 games in your arena, what's that tell you? And that's the thing I look at. If customers don't want to pay or play 2 games, what does that tell you? So value bundle. So I did this part of the seminar last year here, and I did not realize that Dave Hennis was in the room. Dave owns Country Club Lanes. Wait, Dave, are you in the room? Okay, I didn't, just before I do this. So value bundle. Today's operators are all about the package combos. So create a value bundle, an hour of bowling, a game of tag, $5 in game card, all for $20, or pizza, tag, $5 game card, $25. Value bundles are great, but you got to train the staff to upsell the bundles at the counter. You got to put it on the marketing of the website. So Dave Hennis sat in this room last year. For those, real quick, anybody in this program last year sat here and listened to me last year? Nobody? Okay, so this is all new for you. All right, so I didn't know Dave Hennis of Country Club Lanes was in my class when I did this last year. And I'd gone over to his website and I stole all the cool ideas and I put it up here, and then Dave showed up and I was like, oh, well, Dave, you're going to be in for a surprise. So Dave sat here and listened to me talk. So he's got this program Friday, Fire to Retire on Mondays, 4 to 9, unlimited laser tag, hot dog, nachos, fries, large soft drink, only $15. Wednesday, every regular rate of game, by the way, he charges I think like $9 for a game of tag, but every regular rate of game, you get to choose one of 4 freebies. I like this idea a lot. You get a 20-minute bowling pass, or a $5 arcade card, or 1,000 prize tickets, or a hot dog and bag of chips, but let the customer decide. But again, it's $9 for a game of laser tag. Brilliant, for 10 minutes. Oh, by the way, let me qualify, and I should have qualified. Dave Hennis has a 30-player laser tag system in a 50-year-old bowling center in Sacramento. He has an arena of 3,000 square feet, and Dave sat here last year and shared with the room he does over $600,000 in laser tag sales. So I'm not making this up, but whoever recorded this seminar last year, Dave was in the room, and he actually volunteered that information to the crowd. Here, let me get you something that's worthwhile there. So Thursday, 4 to 9, 4 people, $60. I love this. You can bring a family of 4 for $60. Play laser tag, get arcade, get soft drinks and pizza. What Dave Hennis has done in this more than any... Oh, sorry, let me go back one. What Dave Hennis has done... 3 games of laser tag, $6 food coupon, $6 arcade, $16. Now, pause for a moment. I've now shown you 4 presentations, 4 promotions that he does, and on average, he's educating his buyer to spend $15 to $20 per visit. And again, when we look back at laser tag marketing, what we see is we're trying to get people come in and play 1 game of tag for $5. Dave Hennis has taught people to spend $20. Brilliant. Ultrastar Multi-Tainment Center, they're a client of mine. They're a massive bowling facility, movie theater complex in Maricopa, Arizona. But they've done a really good value bundle here. A game of bowling, 2 games of laser tag, 40 play and win game credits, $21. Again, get the customer used to spending $20. I was talking to my 2 lovely lady friends here, and they're from a site in Sherman Oaks, and a game of laser tag is $10 in Sherman Oaks, $10 for 1 game, and people come in and say, I'll take 4 games of laser tag for $10. Amazing. So, wrapping this up and speeding this up, miscellaneous. Make laser tag a redemption prize where possible. I do understand some states you cannot give away a game of laser tag as a redemption prize, but if you can, you should. Create a rack card exclusively for laser tag. Make sure laser tag can be added to all your event packages. I'm always surprised when I find out you can't get laser tag in a corporate function. I'm like, really? Why wouldn't you? Develop a laser tag team building. If you don't have a laser tag team building package, talk to me. I'll help you build one. No problems at all. Giant posters. This is Brunswick Zone's one of my clients. Brunswick's been a good client of mine for years. Giant posters of laser tag on the buildings. I'm a big fan of that. Scoreboard in the lobby. We saw why earlier. So maintenance section, I'm going to just touch upon this briefly, but I am a firm believer of this. Simple in theory, yet rarely ever done. Keep enough parts to swap things very quickly. Very, very quickly. Small tags that cover basic area. I've walked into more tech rooms, and again, I don't care whose laser tag system it is. I've walked into more tech rooms and the laser tag packs are thrown on the counter and they'll say, messed up, or don't work, or fouler things than that. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? Can you show me your maintenance log? And they're like, no, we don't have a maintenance log. I'm like, okay. And often they end up being really simple problems. But ship broken components on Monday, again, doesn't matter. A lot of times operators will say, well, I don't want to ship. I'm going to wait till 3 or 4 or 5 packs are down. But if you only have a 20-player system and you're waiting for 5 packs to go down, and I don't have this in the slide, but I will tell you this, that in my research over the years, 1 laser tag pack on average generates about $15,000 a year. $15,000. Why would you let 5 packs go down? Tell me now, who here is rich enough that you don't need $75,000 annually in income? Because that's nuts. So send in the pack to whoever your supplier is on Monday. Proper maintenance, just proper maintenance will increase sales by 10%. How do you go from a $300,000 to a $400,000 store? I'm not sure I can tell you how to get $100,000, but let me tell you how to get $30,000. Just maintain the equipment. Doesn't matter whose gear it is, it all needs to be maintained. This is a simple repair required tag that you can buy at Office Depot. This isn't anything special. This isn't laser tag specific. This is an Office Depot repair tag that you can see in their office forms section. Maintenance log doesn't have to be anything complex. Just track the pack and what's wrong with it. And again, that's becoming more automated today as well. More manufacturers are doing all that. I'm a big fan of ship it on Monday. Everything, all your, have your tech go in, fix what equipment he can. That he can't, ship it to your supplier on Monday. You should have it back by Friday if the supplier is good. Advanced level marketing. Now we're going to hit you with some wild ideas. So I'm a big fan. All these here are actually monitors. They're all big 32 or 42-inch display monitors. These are all just simply PowerPoints up on display. The office party, they'll never forget. Simple, easy, effective. And again, if you're not marketing it, they're not going to buy it. So many places I go into, and bowling centers just aren't trying to sell laser tag. And that kills me. Fundraisers. Bring reinforcements. You can be clever, you can be fancy. Do you have a question? What's the question?
You talked about marketing and all, so needed.
Yep.
What are the best mediums to market?
Well, this is in-house. This is a 42-inch monitor in-house with PowerPoint. You've got $150 tied into this. I think this is fantastic. So that's advertising. There's a big difference in my world between marketing and advertising. You can do a lot of marketing in-house before you have to start spending money out-of-house. And to be honest, if your equipment's broke, your staff is surly, and you're not telling people you have laser tag, it doesn't matter what you spend out-of-house. So I did a presentation at Bowling Management University, and 3 hours of me talking, it killed me. But I have a whole section I'm happy to share with you after this one on what it takes on in-house marketing versus out-of-house advertising. I personally don't like to spend money on out-of-house advertising. Sir, in the back.
Hey, Eric, what do you recommend, Fog or Haze?
I'm a big fan of the Hazers. I really am. Big fan of Hazers. They cost more, but they're cheaper to operate over the over the lifespan as a whole. Foggers cost less, but they cost more to operate over the lifespan. Let me keep going. I do have a Q&A section, so let me hit you with some wild ideas. Basic training. Again, this is just a simple poster or flyer. This is a marketing item in-house. 2 hands on laser, don't run. If it's blinking, blast it. Simple, easy, cool. Friday and Saturday Night Frenzy, Friday, Saturday, all you can play, 8 to midnight, guaranteed 5 games, just a really cool, take a member of your staff, take a picture of them wearing your equipment, there you go, Friday or Saturday night, all you can play. This is one of my favorite ones, cute young lady there, handsome man, late night, date night, we want to bring the crowd out, score big. Now, I did this joke in England 2 weeks ago, and the British have no sense of humor to sexual jokes whatsoever. They all sat there, not laughing. Great poster. I love it, I love it, I love you. Multiple menu boards. Again, you've got 3 different menu boards up here. I love this one, folks. Love it, love it. You must be this happy to play here. It creates excitement. If you're not excited, they're not excited. Pricing, 1 game is $9.50 since been raised to $10. And then the fundraiser. And then the cool thing is these posters can alternate, or all 3 can alternate, so you don't get burned. I love it. The power of the brief. So, briefing is a chance to interact with the guests to create a memorable experience. I personally don't think you should sit during a brief. A brief should be brief. And one of the things I saw real quick, I was visiting a Brunswick zone in Chicago, and during the briefing process at the very end, the young lady giving the brief turned to one of the players in the room and said, there were 4 rules. What's one of the rules? And the little girl was like, oh, no running. And he goes, that's excellent. And what was another rule? And the little boy goes, don't climb on the obstacles. And I've never seen that. And I thought that was brilliant. Getting your staff to ask what you know. And by the way, there's a cheat sheet. There's generally every arena has safety rules posted in the briefing room. So the golden standard of briefing. So come on up. So actually, I'm going to let you introduce yourself as you would at the facility. Then we'll just take it from there.
Hi, welcome. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yep, let's do that. So live action briefing brings something to the table that video briefing does not. Now, I understand video briefing, and I'm going to cover it here in a second, but live action briefing gives that chance to upsell the event. It gives the upcoming events. It gives that chance to develop the camaraderie with your staff members. I refer to them as touch points. When I waited tables in college, I was a really good waiter. I liked waiting tables. I made lots of money. I went in broke, and I went in hungry, and I came out fat, and I had cash in my pocket I didn't always report. I loved waiting tables, right? It's the same thing, but it was the waiter who could make or break the meal in many, many occasions. So when you're going to do interviews, think for staffing, think about that dynamic personality for the briefing elements. But some of you are like, but Eric, I like video briefing. So let's make bank with the briefing. So most facilities will use digital briefing on a CD or a DVD. Most guests stand around and watch the briefing video. The briefing video loops back and forth. Kids quit watching after a while. So new approach. Briefing video, then a soft drink commercial. Briefing video, then concession or arcade commercials. I have a friend of mine who owns 2 facilities in New Orleans, Metairie and Baton Rouge areas, and he pours Pepsi. Pepsi pays him $500 a month to run a commercial in his briefing video. He gets $6,000 a year times 2 stores. $12,000 a year to run a briefing video. Come on, you can use $12,000, can't you? I think it's a brilliant idea. And then what he does is he also promotes and plugs his own other attractions in between. So he does briefing video, Pepsi commercial, briefing video, one of his own in-house commercials. So, in conclusion, I think I'm ahead of the game on this. So in conclusion, treat tag as the revenue generator that it can be. If you don't care about tag, the customers won't care about tag. If you've got tag tossed in the corner somewhere, it's not marketed, it's not well loved, it's not going to perform for you. It's that simple. If you're not marketing laser tag, then you're not selling laser tag. I've said that 3 or 4 times. I hope you guys get the idea. I really, truly believe in that. Keep the laser tag fresh. Laser tag doesn't take a lot. Again, Expo Bowl, the picture I showed you, the laser storm I was involved with 20 years ago when I got hired, is still running laser tag today. They've switched 3 sets of equipment now. They've repainted the arena a couple of times. They're getting ready to remodel the arena again. Am I correct on that? Getting ready to remodel the arena, but 20 years later, they're still running laser tag. I, again, want to say thank you to Flagship Carpet, Froggy's Fog, and Arc Laser Tag Arena. When you go to the trade show floor tomorrow, there's going to be a 1,500 square foot laser tag facility. Make sure that you play the laser tag. And now, with that said, I'm going to do questions. If you want a copy of this presentation, it will be available at Bowling University's website, and you can also see me for a copy of the presentation. There are surveys, apparently, that you're supposed to fill out. I was going to make your job easy. I had them all pre-printed in 5s, but apparently I'm not supposed to do that. So go ahead and just fill out the surveys. So with that said, questions about laser tag while I get the conversion. Well, obviously you have your sponsored promo links on Facebook, as much as I'm not a big fan of Facebook. But you do have sponsored links for Facebook. Radio is a big thing. When Barb, are you still in the room? Yeah, Barb. So when we opened Expo Bowl's Laser Storm 20 years ago, we did 4 live radio remotes, and you could tell the demographics from the 4 live radio remotes. We did the hip hop station with all the kids all sagging, you know, and right. You just had. Don't laugh at me. I'm an old man. I can do that now. But they all came in that Friday night, and you could tell. Saturday, we had the top 40 radio station, had done live remotes, gave away passes all week long, and they competed against each other, and that was really cool. Saturday afternoon, we had the Christian radio station come in, and we did a promo. We said, look, you know, $50 off any Christian group event. And we never said what prices was. So we could just kind of make numbers up. We were young. We didn't know what we were at. This was 1984 or 94. We were doing this seat of the pants. And then that night, we had the 70s radio station come in. And this was wild because the guy comes out from the DJ comes out and playing laser tag. And he gets out on his little remote. He goes, guys and girls in Radio Land, just got to tell you, I played Laser Storm. It's just like doing LSD without any of the flashbacks. right? But each radio brought a different crowd and different clientele. And we did the spotlights in the sky. We did $2 games of laser tag. We gave the proceeds to the Colts chaplain. We had Marshall Falk. We had Jim Harbaugh was there. We had Bernard Whittington. We had Tony McCoy. So in 1996 or so, 95, Indianapolis was AFC champs. So we weren't an official Colts sanctioned thing, but by going to the chaplain was able to bring us a lot of the big name Colts players. So I will tell you, to that day, I mean, between that and some early marketing that was spent, that was advertising, really was. We spent about $10,000 back then. But they don't need to spend a lot of money to this day. At Excite, we were the very first laser tag system to go to blue-colored packs. And so what we did is we took a blue pack and we stuck it out on the counter and we tried to hype it, everyone who came in. Yeah, blue packs, blue packs, blue packs. So if you're looking to open or you're trying to get the word out, I'm going to tell you, Radio Disney is fantastic. If you got a Radio Disney channel, I'm a big fan of Radio Disney channel. I don't listen to it personally, well, not all the time, but there is some really cool markets that you can hit with Radio Disney. Does that help a little bit? Okay, sir first.
Shootings that are going on?
No, and when I was executive director of the Trade Association, I had to deal with the media backlash of Paducah, Pearl, Mississippi, Columbine. Yeah, so far, today's buyer knows that this is just a game. At $10, it's insane. So we don't even run into that. Back in the 90s we did. Definitely we ran into it. Today, when school shootings do occur, sadly, laser tag. Now, I tell you that, I'm going to give you the exception to the rule, right? You've been in business long enough, you know there's always an exception to the rule. The tactical laser tag folks, the guys with their laser tag guns that look like real guns, they took a beating. But if you look around, most laser tag today is plastic oriented. But the guys that look like combat military simulation, their sales went down. I just spoke at the Tactical Laser Tag Group meeting in April in Milwaukee, and they took a beating with school shootings. But the in-house operators, and feel free to talk to a lot of other operators, and you always get one or two churches will say, no, we're not going to come back. But you don't get the media backlash like the industry got in the 90s. There was a question over here, sir. Yep, going to do that right now. I think that's two questions, so if you guys don't mind, I'll roll in. What's the time, by the way? Are we on good time? 9:30? Oh, I'm on great time. I can give you another presentation. All right, so let's deal with this. So about 2 years ago, 2012, Moobig invited me to speak to talk about lanes to laser tag, and I was really unsure. One, I didn't know who Moobig was. Second, I just didn't know who they were, and so, but I know the topic. I said, okay, let's address this. And I talked to Dick Corley, and he was able to kind of give me some pointers of what I needed to present. So with that said, we'll lead into this. So the presentation goes: we're going to show the history between bowling and laser tag. We're going to provide some industry statistics here. Some of them we kind of touched upon, but revenue projections and how to calculate them at a reasonable projection, conversion concepts. And again, impartial brand names are for references only. I don't care about the brand name if the idea is fantastic. I want you guys to know about it. It's good timing right there. So the first laser tag in a bowling facility was a Quasar set of equipment, and it was installed in Ireland in 1990, in June 29th. So laser tag and bowling have been around for well over 20 years. I would say going on a 25th anniversary. The first laser tag in the United States was actually installed on September 15th, 1990 in Murfreesboro Lane, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They had a 24-player laser storm system. To my knowledge, they've changed their names. I think it's Pins and Strikes or something, Strikes and Spares. I think that's what it is, Strikes and Spares. But they still have laser tag. It's kind of shocking. So number of open bowling centers by years is the same chart that you just saw in the other presentation. I did put it in here in case some of you guys left and some other people came in. But again, I want to look at the growth rate that has just been, steadily climbing. Let me find the right button on this thing. Has been steadily climbing. Again, I'm going to predict 2014 is going to end probably plus 25. So 120, 145. 145 to 150. So there's a big push among the bowling operators to renovate their lanes, take out some of the lanes if they have excess inventory, and add laser tag, or new construction. Almost all new bowling projects opening today are adding laser tag to it. So again, that same chart where we can see things growing, on a regular basis, I think that's very healthy. So the target market. So let's deal with who plays laser tag. So amazingly, about 50% of your business is birthday parties. They're coming in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They usually are in from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Sunday. So you have a 48-hour window to capture about 70% of your proceeds. About 50% of the business is going to be birthday parties. This is that 6 to 13-year-old crowd. Can you let kids under 6 in? Maybe. Talk to your manufacturer. Some equipment's too heavy. Some equipment's actually too light. It's up to the manufacturer to give you some advice on that. What about height requirement? I get that question a lot. Should I have a height requirement? I can't tell you that you should, but I will tell you if you do, 42 inches. Why 42 inches? Because it's the height of a counter. Because first off, sorry for this, moms, but you lie. You just do. If that kid is 5 and my age requirement is 6, you're going to say, oh no, he's okay, he can go in, he's 6. And it's not like the 5-year-old actually has a driver's license. So moms lie. But you can say, oh, we have a height requirement of 42 inches, and clearly he's only 2'3". So he can't go play laser tag. So if you're going to do a height requirement, make it the size of a counter. Because again, it's easy to train the staff. You've got 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. Are they taller than the counter? They can go play. If they're shorter than the counter, they can't go play. Groups. Group is church groups, youth groups, school groups, social groups, scout groups. Any kind of pre-reserved booking other than corporate is a group. And they're about 30% of your business. Corporate is about 10%. When you first open up, you will not have much corporate business. But over time, as things go along, you're going to discover that you're going to have a nice corporate revenue coming in. So the cool thing about laser tag, unlike most other attractions that I like, is that I can predict my labor cost a week out. Because I can just look at my schedule for upcoming scheduled events, and I can predict my labor cost, and I can control my labor cost very tightly because of that. The other 10% is the casual walk-in. That's Friday night, Saturday night, that's that date night, that's that teen crowd. And I'll tell you right now that you can't be 18 years old, taking your girlfriend out and look cool and pull out a buy one, get one free coupon. You're just not cool. You can't take your girlfriend on a date and use a coupon. So the nice thing is they tend to be coupon adverse. So they'll pay full price. And that's the thing that we like about them. That's the gravy, is the walk-in traffic. Then some operators will do some sort of late night promo specials to kind of drive traffic even later, all the way up till midnight or 1 in the morning. This isn't a great chart. I'd like to redo this chart here, but this kind of gives you an idea of the average age of customers. So 47% of your customers are going to be under 12. That correlates with the birthday party business. 28% or so of your traffic is going to be 13 to 17-year-olds. Again, that correlates with your youth groups and young events. 14% is going to be 18 to 25. Kind of correlates out to your casual, walk-in traffic. And then 26 and up is going to be another 10%. And that's really going to be your corporate. So it was not a shock when we did these analysis over the years, and we kept coming back with basically the same age profiles because it matched the bookings. And today's online booking systems allow you to pull a lot of data. So the president of Zone Laser Tag is not in the room, but the president of Zone Laser Tag, I give him a lot of grief. He's my boss. But I tell him all the time, you cannot manage what you cannot measure. I didn't create the phrase. It's been out there for 1,000 years. But I like to measure a lot of the statistics. I want to see where the traffic is coming from. I want to see where the bookings are occurring. I will go one step further. I'll actually take all of it. This is in my presentation, but I'll take all the data that I have on the addresses. I can now plug them into, with Google Fusion. Tip, by the way, tip. Google Fusion, update your spreadsheet with addresses, and it can plot out where all you're drawing from in your trade demographic based off of your bookings. I love Google Fusion, and it's free. That's even better. So this is a Brunswick Zone in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. This is really important. Again, when I presented Move Big, I don't know how many of you guys know Jim Fox, president of Brunswick. I did not. So I'm up there in the room. Andy, were you at this Move Big meeting when I didn't know who Jim Fox was? And it clearly showed I didn't know who Jim Fox. For those of you who don't know, Jim Fox is president of of Brunswick. And I had this picture up there, and I'm talking, I'm giving this presentation. I'm a little nervous. Public speaking's not easy. I'm standing here picturing all of you in your underwear. It's not a pleasant sight, So I'm up there, and so this picture goes up, and this had other equipment and a different style arena in Feasterville, and they renovated it. They pulled the old equipment out from a competitor. They pulled the old arena out, and they put an arena from Creative Arts and Zone laser tag equipment. And so I'm pointing this out, and all of a sudden, across the room, somebody yells out, "Hey, Jim, how'd that do?" I don't know who Jim is, and I don't know who's yelling out. And Jim yells back, within 6 months, we saw sales increase 70%. You remember that? He was like, yep, 70% in 6 months. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. And then I said, well, I'm sorry, but I work with a guy named Dave Scoder and Mike Long. And Jim says, yeah, I got to work with them too. And that was the end. But it ends up that MooBig, the event of MooBig, and what these guys were doing is they were really sharing the information back and forth. But what's vital was that Jim Fox says, hey, we revitalized, re-enhanced the laser tag experience, and sales went up 70%. Now I'm going to add one more to that. I actually visited Feasterville, Pennsylvania. I was driving back from East Coast Bowl Show. I popped in Feasterville, talking to the game room operations manager, and I said to him, I go, what is different about your laser tag now compared to what you had before? And he said, easy, repeat guest. We have repeat guests now. We did not have repeat guests before, and we have repeat guests now. And I thought, well, that's it. That's the summation of what laser tag is all about. So, again, I hold this up because it's really became kind of that gold standard at that meeting where we really started looking at, what it takes to remodel a laser tag. So percentage plays per day. So laser tag, by the way, I don't care how good you guys are, and after doing this for 20 years and talking to about 1,500 people a year who tell me they're coming in the laser tag industry, they always tell me they got some wild idea that's going to build sales on Monday and Tuesday, and I always listen to them, and then I hang up the phone and I laugh. Because no one's got the wild idea to build sales on Monday and Tuesday. 70% of your business comes in on the weekends. You can literally throw a bowling ball through your laser tag on a Tuesday and not hit anybody. Most places actually just keep laser tag closed Monday and Tuesdays. But this gives you an idea. Again, Monday through Thursday, 4 to 10, about 30% of your traffic. Friday, 4 to midnight. By the way, I got this idea from, how many of you have ever managed a restaurant? I mean, like a real restaurant. So your readings in your book. We used to do hourly X readings or Z readings. It was X readings. We do the hourly X readings, and we could track per hour how much sales we're generating. And so I really looked at this and I said, how's our sales work out on this? And obviously, it's not a shock that Saturday here is 40% of the business for one day. Broken out into sections. We did a program Saturday, Munchkin Madness. We provided them orange juice and donuts and like an all-you-can-play for the little tykes. Saturday is going to be mostly birthday parties at this point here, and then this is going to be your young adult teen crowd coming in. And again, your results may vary. This is just pretty much what we've discovered on average. And this gives us a really good idea of what to look for. In the earlier days of laser tag, if we were open on Monday through Tuesday, we open till 11, we open at 2 or 3. On Sunday, we would open at 10 and be open until 10 at night. And over time, we've leaned and cleaned our hours up, because we've just recognized that the traffic just isn't there. If you are a parent on Sunday, you're having your kid do their homework on Sunday night after 6. You're just not going out that much after 6. It's just the human condition. So it gives you an idea. I'm not going to say that your numbers are going to match up. This is just obviously me talking to a lot of operators over time and getting the feedback back from them. Average group size. So laser tag, what is cool about laser tag is it's a planned social event. There's nobody driving down the road and going, oh, I needed to stop by the grocery store and get milk, bread, and there's a laser tag, let's go play. It just doesn't happen. This is a planned social event. So most of the business will come from groups, birthdays coming into your facility. Rarely do you have a single person coming in to play laser tag alone, and if you do, it's creepy. Just creepy. Don't let them. Just don't. Like, I'm sorry, sir, you need to go get, I know you're 40, but you need to go get a friend or two, and they can't be 12. Hey, if you saw the video, it said I was going to say wild things. So anyways, Now, with that said, so I was training a center in Austin, Texas, laser tag, still going all these years later, and I trained the staff about what I call good questions and bad questions. A good question, how big is your arena? How many packs do you have? A bad question, how much did your arena cost? How much did you spend on laser tag equipment? Bad questions. So sure enough, grand opening night, I'm there with the owner, Thomas Mayone, and we're there. And all of a sudden, one of the staff members runs up to me and goes, Eric, someone's here asking bad questions. And I'm like, really? And like, because I know I say these things, but I didn't think anybody would really show up and ask a bad question. So I go walking up and I introduce myself to the single guy, and I say, good day, my name's Eric Guthrie, and the guy goes back and says, good day, my name's Tony Auerbach. I went, Tony Auerbach, regional manager of Laser Quest. He goes, yes. I said, oh, what are you doing here? He says, I'm just shopping the competition. I said, Tony, you don't have to shop. Let me take you around and show you what you need to see. Right? But he had asked the wrong questions, and the staff was able to be alert. When you go, for those of you, again, half the room you said you're looking at doing laser tag, a lot of you will go out and you'll secret shop laser tag facilities. Definitely take kids, definitely take, people. But if you're two business guys walking into a laser tag, and you do, because I've been doing this too, I walk in, I start looking at all the fixtures, and I start looking at all the artwork that everyone does. They figure out that I'm looking to try to open up and compete against them. So with that said, let's give you a chart. Average group size, not a shock. 77% of our traffic is 5 or more people. Real quick, and I think we're going to, well, I know we're going to cover it, but average group for a birthday party is around 10. So look at that. I think we're going to roll into that right now. The average minimum for a birthday party is 8 on average. When I look at people's websites, when I say to you, hey, what's your average, what's your minimum for a birthday party? The answer is 8. We're going to do 8. And they go, okay, we're going to buy 24 packs. And that's like, oh, that's really cool. But the average attendance to a birthday party is actually 10 in certain markets. And in other markets of the country, it's even larger. I mentioned my friends in New Orleans. The average attendance to a birthday party is 16. The average attendance for you guys is 14, right? Or 15? 15. Yeah, so different parts of the world are going to have different parts of different sizes. In the Midwest, where I'm from, Indianapolis, tends to be about 10 to 12. So think about that, because that goes into everything about layout. We're going to cover that. Laser tag sales will drop in the summer months. I mean, not a shock. They'll increase in the March and December and August at the end of school. Type of location, standalone bowling, FEC will also determine the average plays per month. We are seeing these numbers change, which is great. In 2008, bowling was 2,600 plays per month. Still 2,600. I see more and more of that. Less of the standalones, more of the FECs. We're seeing a lot more family entertainment centers and bowling centers kind of get mixed into the FEC category as you guys become hybrids. For those of you who like bar charts, it's the same information. Instead of being in a pie chart, it's a bar chart. Same thing, though, but it kind of gives you an idea. Obviously, it makes sense in a lot of areas. December is pretty strong. In the Southwest, as you can imagine, December is still strong. It's just that it's at night, when things cool off. Percentage plays broken out by month. If you don't have this, your Excel spreadsheet, your Excel spreadsheet should be able to just punch out something like this. So you guys start, and honestly, if you belong to FEC 20 group or the Move Big, you may want to start comparing data in this manner. Okay, so why is bowling embrace laser tag? As we covered earlier, nominal investment, low labor, high revenue per square foot. We covered that, so we don't need to deal with too much. Food sales will increase, so sorry, but so how to determine laser tag revenues? Let's get to this. Because this is an area I really get upset about at times in the arena. So everything begins with the arena size. Everything starts out with the arena size. How big is the arena is going to, how big of the space is going to determine the size of the arena. So in our industry, the average family entertainment, bowling entertainment, the average arena is about 3,000 square feet. In a standalone, where laser tag is its prominent draw, it's about 5,000 square feet. Don't worry, the stuff repeats, by the way. I've got it designed to repeat as we go through these steps. So the arena size determines the number of packs. Whoops, sorry. I know you guys are making notes. So the number of packs is determined by dividing your arena size by 150 square feet. The rule of thumb is 125 to 150 square feet. There is a national safety standard put together by the manufacturers and recorded with IAAPA in their safety guides. No arena should be smaller than 100 square foot per player. So, but we're saying shoot for 125 to 150 because by the time you put in the props and the barriers and the obstacles and everything else like that, it shrinks it down. So 3,000 square foot arena divided by 150 square feet equals a 20-player system. Strangely enough, the math works completely the opposite way. Eric, I want to buy 30 packs. How large should my arena be? Well, 4,500 square feet. It's that simple. It just, based off that number, gives you a really good guideline. Once you know the number of packs, you can kind of look at the games per hour. You're going to run approximately 3 games per hour. You can do 4 games. Let me say when you first start out, try to just get to 3 games an hour on time all the time. But once you get rock and rolling, you can do 4 games an hour. So you do 3 games an hour, 20 packs, 3,000 square foot arena. So how many hours a week are you going to be open? The average shows about 40 to 50 hours a week for the laser tag. So look at the hours a week that you're going to be open, and then this is going to end up calculating out. I'm saying let's use $6 a game. Remember, I can't tell you how much to charge for a game of tag. So for this purpose, we're going to say $6. And when you do the math, it all comes out to your gross sales for laser tag per week is about $18,000 per week. And you're like, well, no wonder everyone's putting in laser tag. Because now when I look at that on an annual basis, I'm like $18,000 a week, 52 weeks a year. Wow, 20-player system is $936,000. That's brilliant, Eric. No, it's not true. Because we kick in what we call the reality check. So the reality check is once you get to this pie-in-the-sky number, let's deal with what reality is. 70% of your traffic comes in on the weekends. Your facility is not going to be busy. When it's all said and done, roughly 30% utilization. And strangely enough, over the years, when I've talked to bowling guys, when I say, well, what's your lineage, that's about average the utilization for all the lanes is about 30%. And then I talk to the go-kart guys, and I'm like, well, how's your go-karts do? And they're like, oh, about 30%. And I've discovered 30% utilization seems to be pretty standard in the family amusement industry. So it did not shock me. So now we take that crazy pie-in-the-sky number and throw it out. And if you came to me and said, Eric, I have a 20-player system, a 3,000 square foot arena, and I'm doing $280,000. My response to you is congratulations, you're just average. You're just average. And isn't that a great number to be at? So your laser tag costs are going to be about $150,000 to $180,000. You're going to gross about $280,000 a year, up front. Some are going to do better, some are going to do worse, but it's a really good performer to work from and do your basis and your baseline comparisons. So I really, really want to stress that 30% utilization is a very common number. So what's the investment? So investments are broken into 4 costs, really 4 costs. 1, the cost of laser tag equipment. Here at Bowl Expo, I think everybody is here, all the manufacturers. So you're welcome to go around, check them out, talk to them. Some equipment is cheaper, some equipment is more expensive. You decide where you want to be on the cost of equipment. It's sort of like buying a car. How much is a car? How many of you ever called up the car dealership and said, hi, car dealership, how much is a car? And they go crazy. Their head melts. And the same thing in laser tag sales. When someone calls me, I'm like, hey, how much is laser tag? Well, what are you looking to do? Da-da-da-da-da. So the cost of the laser tag arena, the cost of the second level play structure, if you're going to have one, and by the way, that's one of the trends in the industry that's done very, very well. Second level play structures allow the facility to last longer and generally outperform. You can command a higher price if you put a second level play structure, the steel mezzanine. And I've got a picture of one in here. And then the build out cost. So the costs are based on the level of the laser tag. So laser tag really falls into 3 categories. We have what's called an attraction level laser tag, a mid-range laser tag, and a high-end laser tag system. As you can imagine, attraction level laser tag is not going to have a lot of bells and whistles. I generally recommend an attraction level laser tag if the arena is under 3,500 square feet. If the arena is under 3,500 square feet, single level, you don't need a lot of bells and whistles. You don't need a membership system. You don't need dynamic handicapping. Kids are going to run around. In fact, to be honest, you can give them a flashlight and a piece of cellophane paper and tell them to yell bang, and they're going to have a great time. So you don't need anything complex. But if you decide to move on up in the world, now maybe you start thinking of George Jefferson song when I say that. So 3,000, 6,000 square feet, often 2 level. You start to look at a mid-level laser tag. Now that's going to have a longer warranty. That's going to have a little more options. That's going to have a little more features. and it's going to have a slightly higher price point to pay for that. And then lastly, you have high-end laser tag. This is often in 5,000 square feet, 2 levels. This goes into standalones. This goes into the bowling entertainment centers where laser tag is going to be a dominant draw. It often has membership and dynamic handicapping and targets and turrets and all kinds of crazy things that tags the players in the arena. So again, it depends on where you want to be in your investment and what type of equipment you're looking to get. So the biggest change in the past 2 years, pricing for the laser tag arena runs the gamut. Everywhere from $9 a square foot to $30 a square foot. $9 a square foot, you're getting hey, welcome to your sheet of particle board and a can of spray paint. $30 a square foot, probably spending a little too much at that stage where people are going to spend a lot of time and money not looking at the artwork. Now, I want to throw this out there. If you ever come to Indianapolis, there's a laser tag facility called X-Site up on the north side of town, Castleton Square Mall. The arena costs $1.4 million to build. And if you go in, $1.4 million to build the arena. And if you go in there, you see the prop of the plane crashed into the side of the building, and you actually get to play on the semi-rig that's backed up onto a gate, a loading dock, and you get to see the entire wall that's styrofoam relieved. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. They could have achieved that same result for a tenth of that, and wouldn't have affected anything. So I am at the great risk of alienating the arena guys in this room. I'm going to tell you that I think the ratio out there should be for every dollar you spend on laser tag equipment, you should spend $1.50 on the arena, props, theming, design, so forth. They provide a great service, but I think we push the cost too high north on the arenas and not so much on the equipment. The equipment's gotten cheaper, arenas have gotten more expensive. Now, later on, we'll let the arena guys do a presentation. They can defend that. So, bowling is shifting from plastic arenas into really themed environments. Now, here's the second level play structure. Now, this is something that can be very, very costly. It's made out of steel in most cases. More and more locations are requiring it to be steel. I've seen estimates of $50 to $60 a square foot. You cannot put bases, energizers, reloads, anything of importance to the gameplay on the second level. If you do, you will have ADA issues like crazy. So this is a picture of a steel structure. Not a great picture, but it is one. I don't know where I stole it off the web somewhere. Build-out costs. So building the 4 walls. I do recommend, and this is something we taught the Brunswick guys to do. I got to come over here to make a point. So when we started working with Brunswick years ago, all this was sheetrock, and all this was kicked in. Kids would just kick in. They had this beautiful artwork along the wall, and kids would kick it in, or the packs would scrape up against the wall. And so we then suggested to Brunswick take the lower 6 feet and turn this all into MDF. Just some sort of fiberboard, anything you could do to kind of prevent that damage. And the arenas look a lot better because of that. So I'm a big fan. Now, on a side note, I showed you pictures of Watford, UK, a place called Laser Planet. They did something nobody has done. Doug, pay attention when I say this. They did something nobody has done, and what they've done is they've got their geometrical patterns routed into the wall, and they paint the geometrical patterns in the wall. You know what's cool about that? When laser tag players scrape up against it, it doesn't affect the paint job because it's sunk by about a ½ inch in, and I thought that was brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Seal the walls. Laser tag has sound. It has fog. Again, Barb, I'm going to pick on. Way back in the day when I ran the laser tag at Expo Bowl on the south side of Indy, we had great sound system. We had fog, and it would just roll down the B side. Just roll down. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with Expo Bowl on the south side of Indianapolis, it is an 80-lane house, 2 40s with a shared maintenance alley. So sometimes the B-side was closed, but on Friday and Saturday night for Cosmic Bowling, and I figured I was contributing to Cosmic Bowling, to be honest, but the fog would roll down, the sound would blast down, and the B-side supervisor would come yell at us, but we were used to getting yelled at. So the HVAC system should have a separate return. I don't know if I spelled separate right now that I look at that. Heat sensors in the arena. So this is one of these little tricky things. Heat sensors in the arena is not smoke sensors. Sadly, we see a lot of operators who are new to the business will put smoke sensors in the arena because that's what their fire people tell them to do. And then when they turn on the foggers, the smoke sensors go off. So there is actually provision in the National Fire Code for, let me tell you what it's called here, but basically you can put heat sensors into naturally occurring smoked environments. Think like a boiler room. Boiler room in apartment buildings or companies naturally have a higher particle density in the air. So there are exceptions where you can put heat sensors in instead of smoke sensors. This is one of those areas that people get jammed up all the time. I got a client right now in North Carolina who just spent $30,000 correcting that mistake. Sprinkler system. After the Great White or White Snake concert in Rhode Island a few years ago, that everything caught on fire in the band, people died, it was tragic. The fire marshals in America got their asses handed to them, and I apologize for saying that, but they did. They've been asleep on the job, they got their asses handed to them, and since then, throughout the nation, fire marshals have become the bane of our existence, but I get it, and you should too. We're taking a fog-filled environment, put a maze in, disoriented lights, and then we're taking our precious little 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds and we're turning them loose. I want a sprinkler system in there. So, but it's costly. I don't remember which Brunswick zone this is, but this kind of gives you an idea. Tall ceiling's great. You can see the steel structure right there, the base, the walls, and everything else like that. So the briefing room. High volume, here we go. This is one of those areas that gets me in trouble as well. So high volume. If you are looking to do a high volume facility, you must have a separate briefing and a separate vesting room and then into the arena. If you do the combined briefing and vesting room, you will always impede your growth. And this is very simple and straightforward because you've got to wait for the game that's in to come out, hang up their packs, and exit out before you can call the next game in to go in the briefing/vesting room into the arena. It will hamper you tremendously. So if you want to be a high volume site, if you want to make a lot of money, you need to have a separate briefing and vesting room. The briefing room should be about 7 to 9 square feet per player. Something you guys want to write down. And then you should also wire the room for briefing video monitor. Every laser tag manufacturer out there will work with the arena designers. We've got a couple arena designers in the room that our company works with. They're fantastic. We simply give them the requirements of our electrical. They turn around, they lay it all out. They then send us back the sample floor plan. We look at it, sign off on it, and so therefore all your wiring is run in advance. It's brilliant. Vesting room. Vesting room should be about 12 to 14 square foot per player. Why is this space a little larger? Because think about it, you're putting on the laser tag pack for those of us in the Midwest or Mideast and Northeast areas. It's like putting on a jacket after you all gone to dinner. So you need a little bit more room for that. So generally these things should have a door from the arena into the separate door into the lobby or the game area. And then lastly, the vesting racks are generally about 18 inches on center. Again, speak with your manufacturer of your laser tag equipment or whoever you're going to buy from, but the industry seems to have come out to this 18-inch on center as a standard. So let's deal with a real-world example. This is actually All-Star Lanes in Utah. So they wanted to take 8 lanes out of a 40 house. They turned around, they pulled out the lanes, went back all the way to the length, kind of came in. This is a little awkward in here, but they made it work. It actually looks cool. I was just there in January. So now we've got the clean white box, the area for the foyer for the laser tag. They've got now here they've done one room for briefing and vesting, despite what I just told you. They've got one room for briefing and vesting. So now you can see kind of the whole layout, the flow in and out, right through there. And then this is a sample mock-up of the vesting room here. This is a different picture, but it's still briefing, vesting, goes in, plays 2 levels, going up, down. And this, by the way, you will get, as you get your design, your arena providers will ultimately provide you conceptuals that sort of look like this. Often they'll have a key on the side that'll tell you what are half walls, what are full walls, angled walls. It's actually really detailed. We are really to the science of laser tag design and not the art of laser tag design as well. This is a really quick story. This is now I say that I go and forget it. It is Gallatin, Tennessee. The owners of the facility built this laser tag arena based off of a drawing we had in our sales literature. And after that, we had to go back and make sure all of our sales literature said not for construction purposes. I showed up on site. He said, "Eric, I built it exactly as you drew it." Now, I've done a lot of things in the laser tag industry, but I don't design arenas. I have never designed an arena in 20 years. And I said to this gentleman, I said, I didn't design an arena. He goes, no, remember you gave me that brochure at the trade show? We built it exactly as it was drawn out there. And I'm like, okay, don't ever do that again. Because, that's a concept art. But this ends up being really cool. It looks really neat. Lane conversion tips. Here we go. For those of you looking to change out, so remove the ball returns, go down to the subfloor for 16-foot ceilings if you're trying to do 2 stories. If you want to do a 2-story arena, 16 minimum, 18 preferred. So if you need to get 16, you may need to go down to the subfloor. Option, if you don't want to remove the pin centers, build the wall in front of pin centers so you can use the pin centers for spare parts. We know they're expensive. We know they're a nightmare to remove. So if you don't want to remove them, just build a wall in front of them, and so your guys can still access them from the backside, but you can save that cost. Recommend using new lanes. Okay. What is it? 10? Okay. Recommend using new lane to advertise the attraction. I've got a picture of one, by the way. I was in New Zealand. They did a really good job at using the new lanes to advertise the attractions. Laser tag, in summation, laser tag and bowling are extremely popular. The equipment, the arena investment would be about $120,000 to $180,000, not including the steel structure. The steel structure is a great wild unknown, but on average you're looking to $120,000 to $180K for the arena. Yep. It would not include the actual cost of taking out lanes. It does not. That's just the equipment, the arena, everything else like that. And I'm on my last slide. So estimate does not include the renovation cost. And typical ROI is in about 12 months. Thank you very much for attending.